was bright that morning. In the small town of Riverdale, Emily stood in front of her mirror, brushing her hair with excitement. She was only 14 years, but she had been talking about this day for weeks. Her uncle Mike, her late father's younger brother, had invited her to spend the holiday with him in the city. "Mom!" she called out, running into the city room. "I packed my clothes already. Uncle Mike said he's taking me to see the mail and the zoo." Her mother, Miss Parker, smiled as she tied her scarf. "You are so excited, Emily. You really like your Uncle Mike, don't you?" "Yes, Mom. He's so funny. He always brings me chocolate and tells me stories about Dad." Her mother laughed softly. "That's because he loved your dad so much. You are all he has now." Emily nodded proudly, her heart full of joy. She had only seen the city once when she was much younger. To her, Uncle Mikey's house was like a mansion, big, shining, and full of everything she only saw in magazines. When Uncle Mike car finally stopped outside, Emily screamed with excitement. She ran out with her small suitcase, shouting, "Uncle Mike!" Uncle Mike stepped out of the car, smiling warmly. He was tall, handsome, and always smiled. "Hey, princess," he said, opening his arms. "You look just like your dad. Come, give your uncle a hug." She hugged him happily. Her mother stood at the doorway smiling. "Please take care of her, Mike," she said. "Of course, sis," he replied. "She's safe with me." The moment they arrived, Emily's eyes wide in amazement. The house was huge, glass window, leather couch, and shiny floor that reflected the sunlight. "Wow!" she whispered. "This is like something from a movie." Uncle Mike laughed. "You haven't seen anything yet. Wait till you see your room." He showed her around the house, from the living room to the kitchen, and then to a beautiful guest room decorated in soft pink. "I hope you like it," he said. "Like it? I love it," she said, jumping on the bed. That evening, Mike ordered pizza, and they watched a movie together. Emily felt comfortable. She told him about her school, her friends, and how much she missed her dad. "You are safe here," he said gently. "I'll always take care of you." His word warmed her heart. She believed him. A few days later, Emily started noticing things that made her uncomfortable. Mike would walk into her room without knocking. Sometimes, when she was watching TV, he would sit too close, his arm brushing hers. It didn't seem bad at first, just a little strange. But one night, while she was folding her clothes, he came behind her and said, "You are growing fast, Emily. Soon boys will start chasing you around." Emily smiled awkwardly. "I guess so, Uncle." He choked, his voice low. "Don't worry, I will protect you from now on." Something in the way he said it made her feel nervous. That night, she couldn't sleep. The next morning, she decided to call her mom. She didn't want to sound scared, so she tried to act normal. "Hi, Mom," she said. "Hey, my baby, how's the city life?" Her mother replied cheerfully. "It's okay," Emily said slowly. "But Mom, sometimes I don't know. Uncle Mike just acts funny." Her mother laughed lightly. "Funny how?" "I don't know, Mom. He just come into my room without knocking. The way he stares at me, it makes me feel..." "Oh, Emily," her mother interrupted, still laughing. "You are exaggerating. You know your Uncle Mike loves you. That's how he plays. Don't read meaning into everything." Emily went quiet. "So you think it's fine?" "Of course, my dear. It's family. Just enjoy your holiday. Stop worrying too much." Emily forced a small smile. "Okay, Mom, I'll try." When the call ended, she sat silently on her bed, staring at her hands. She didn't understand why her heart felt so heavy. That evening, when Mike came home, she avoided him. He noticed. "What's wrong, princess? You are quiet," he asked. "Nothing, Uncle," she whispered. He smiled faintly. "All right then, remember, you can tell me anything, okay?" She nodded, forcing a smile. But her heart was already closing up. Days passed. Emily became more withdrawn. She stopped playing music in her room. She didn't laugh so much. Sometimes she would stare at the wall thinking about her father. She wished he was still alive. He would have understood. One night, as she lay in her bed, she whispered to herself, "Maybe Mom is right. Maybe I'm just imagining things." For days, Emily tried to convince herself her mother was right. "Maybe I'm just overthinking. Maybe Uncle Mike just played too much." So, she laughed when he joked. She smiled when he teased, even when he made her a little uneasy. One afternoon, she was helping him in the kitchen. He kept finding small excuses to stay close, showing her how to cut vegetables, standing too near, reaching around her instead of walking past. Uncle, I can do it myself, she said lightly. He smiled. Don't be shy. I'm just teaching you. She stepped aside, pretending to look for salt. The moment passed, but the air in the kitchen felt heavy. Meg began giving her small gifts, new sandals, a bracelet, a table for school. At first, it felt nice, but soon the gift came with condition. Promise you won't tell anyone. I got this just for you. It's our little secret, he would say. Emily laughed nervously. Why can't I tell mom? He raised an eyebrow. Because she would think I'm spoiling you. It's between us, okay? She will nod her head. Okay. But that night she wrote in her diary, I do not like keeping secrets. They make my heart beat fast. Uncle Mike said they are small things, but they don't feel small. One evening, she was watching a cartoon in the living room. Mike came in quietly and sat beside her. He started asking questions that made her uncomfortable about her friend, her body, and her feelings. Uncle, that's weird, she said, hugging a pillow. He laughed. We are just talking. Don't act like a baby. When he came closer again, she moved to far end of the couch. Uncle, please stop. I don't like this. The laughter faded from his face. For a long moment, he said nothing. Then he forced a smile. You have misunderstood everything, Emily. I was only joking. But his eyes didn't look like a joke. Emily turned off the TV and went straight to her room, locking the door. She sat on the bed, knees to her chest, whispering, maybe I'm really exaggerating. Why do I feel so scared? From that night, she avoided being alone with him. She woke up early, stayed late in her room, and only came out when he wasn't around. Mike noticed the distance. You used to talk to me more, he said one morning. I'm just busy with schoolwork, she murmured. He looked at her for a moment, then said, suit yourself. Emily could feel it. The house no longer felt safe. Days turned into a week, and the laughter that once filled Uncle Michael's house disappeared. Emily's footsteps became quieter. Her eyes no longer sparkled when she talked. She moved around carefully, as if every sound might wake something she didn't want to face. At school, her best friend Sophia noticed. Emily, what's wrong with you? She asked during lunch. You don't even laugh at my jokes anymore. Emily forced a smile. I'm fine. I'm just tired. Sophia frowned. You have been tired for 2 weeks. Emily lowered her voice. You ever felt like something is wrong but you can't explain it? Sophia said, you can tell me anything. Sophia shook her head quickly. It's nothing, forget it. When the bell rang, Sophia watched her friend walk away, shoulders bent, eyes on the ground. Something inside Sophia whispered that Emily was hiding pain. During the English class, the teacher asked Emily to read a paragraph aloud, her hand trembling as she held the paper. Halfway through, her voice cracked and tears filled her eyes. Emily, are you okay? Mr. Rolandis asked gently. Emily nodded, blinking fast. Sorry, ma, I'm fine. The teacher's face softened. You can sit down, dear. When the class ended, Mr. Rolandos called her aside. You have been distant lately. Is everything okay at home? Emily hesitated, her heart pounding. She wanted to speak. She wanted to scream. But her mother's words echoed in her heart, echoed in her head. You are exaggerating, Emily. He's just playing with you. Ha ha ha. So she forced a smile. I'm just missing mom, that's all. Mr. Rolando nodded slowly. All right, but if you ever need someone to talk to, I'm here. Emily whispered, thank you, and hurried off. That evening, she tiptoed through the front door. Michael was in the living room watching television. Hey, princess, he said. How was school? It was fine, she replied quickly, dropping her bag and heading to the room. He called after her. Why are you always running off these days? I have homework, she said quickly, and closed the door. Inside, she leaned against the door frame, breathing hard. Her eye drifted to her small mirror. The girl staring back looked fragile. I can't keep living like this, she whispered. That night, she tried to read but couldn't. The house was too quiet again. When she finally fell asleep, she dreamed of her father's old smile, safe, calm, and warm. She woke up crying softly into her pillow. She picked up her diary and wrote, I feel trapped. Mom thinks I'm fine. Uncle Mike says everything is a joke, but my heart beats fast all the time. Maybe one day someone will believe me. The next morning, when Emily came down for breakfast, Mike was already dressed for work. He looked at her, his tongue unusually calm. You are acting strange, Emily. You know I care about you, right? She nodded silently. He smiled, reaching for his car key. Good. Don't let people fill your head with nonsense. You and I understand each other. The door closed behind him. Emily finally inhaled. She dropped into a chair, staring at her untouched plate of toast. I don't even know who he is anymore, she whispered. At that moment, a single thought formed in her mind. She needed to tell someone, no matter what. The following week, Emily went to school as usual, but she could hardly concentrate. Her heart felt heavy every morning she left Uncle Mackey's house. Her eyes no longer met anyone. At lunch break, Sophia concerned her again. Emily, I know something is wrong. You don't have to pretend anymore. Emily hesitated, then looked around to make sure no one was listening. Sophie, please, you won't tell anyone, right? I promise. Sophie said softly. Emily's lip trembled. Uncle Mike is not nice anymore. He does things that makes me feel scared. I tell him to stop, but he doesn't listen. Mom thinks I'm overreacting. Sophia froze, her eyes wide. Emily, that's not okay. That's really not okay. Emmy's voice cracked. I didn't know who to tell. Sophia grabbed her hands. You just did. Don't worry. My mom works with people who help kids. I will tell her. She will know what. That night, Sophie told her mother everything. Her mother, Miss Adams, was silent for a long moment before she said, Are you sure, Sophie? Yes, Mom. Emily is really scared. Please help her. Mrs. Adams stood up. You did the right thing, sweetheart. I will handle this carefully. She contacted the authorities that same evening. The next day, they visited Emily's school quietly and spoke to the principal. Emily was called into the principal's office. When she saw Mrs. Adams there, she started crying before a single question was asked. It's okay, Emily, Miss Adams said gently. You are safe now, no need to cry, baby. For the first time in months, Emily believed it. When the investigation began, shocking things came to light. Uncle Meg had once been accused of similar behavior years ago with another child in his neighborhood. The case had been dropped because there wasn't enough proof back then. But now, with Emmy's diary, her recorded words, and witness statement, the truth could no longer hide. Uncle Mike was taken away quickly, and Emily's mother was called home immediately. When Miss Parker walked into the principal's office and saw her daughter sitting there, she broke down completely. Emily, oh my baby, she cried, falling to her knees. I am so sorry. I should have listened. I should have protected you. Emily held her tightly, tears running down both their faces. It's okay, Mom. I just wanted you to believe me. I should have, her mother whispered. I trusted too easily. And I didn't imagine something like this could ever happen in our family. Miss Adam touched her shoulder gently. It's not too late. What matters now is healing for both of you. Months later, Emily began to smile again. Her mother enrolled her into art therapy. She draws sunsets, oceans, and open doors, symbol of freedom. One evening, as she sat beside her mother, Miss Parker said quietly, You have made me stronger, Emily. I have learned something I will never forget. Emily looked at her mother. Mom, what is that? Her mom said, No parent should ever be too busy, too trusting, or too blind. Children see things we don't. When they speak, we must listen. Always. Emily nodded softly. Maybe we can help other family, Mom. Her mother smiled through her tears. Yes, sweetheart, we will. Lesson from this story. Sometimes danger doesn't come from the outside world. It comes from the people we think we know. This story is not just Emily's story. It's a reminder to every parent, every guardian, and every adult to listen, to watch, and to protect. No sign is ever too small to check, and no child's fear is ever an exaggeration. Love means watching, caring, and standing guard. Always. Thank you guys for watching my story. Please do well to